In this video, guys, I'm going to ask the question, do Forex robots work? Stay tuned. Hey traders, warm welcome to you. Alright, so do Forex robots work? So what I mean by Forex robot is something like an automated program that you're going to put into MT4, MT5, whatever it may be, something that chugs away and makes trades for you based on an algorithm that's pre-programmed. Many times you buy this, you pay a subscription to it, you load it in, you fire it away, you plug into an account and off it goes. So the question is, do they work? And now that's a bit of a broad statement, right? Because was a bit of a broad question, should I say, because of course, how do we define work? This is what the key thing is. How do we define work? For me, work is something that will trade profitably through specific market conditions. Now, it could be all market conditions, but knows when to shut off, because there are some market conditions that are going to be conducive to trading differently. And if the bot can shut off with some sort of filtering criteria and doesn't trade for a period of time, that's good enough for me. But if it can trade and still trade during those times and make money, that's good as well. So the question is it something that has some long life to it? And the answer is, I generally think no, because there's always a system or strategy that works for a period of time, and then for whatever reason, it doesn't work. Whether the edge is ironed out by other people trading the same thing, whether the edge is just a run of luck, or whatever the edge may be, is eventually it will end. And so the problem you have with robots and Forex robots is they may seem great on the face of it. You may seem like you have this kind of, oh yes, we're chugging up, bit of downtrend chugging up. And I've seen so many times this happen and then bang, it does this, because the conditions change. And so the problem you've got is that, okay, well, if you're going to trade it, when do you stop? It's like, you know, if you've ever played a fruit machine where you kind of, you gamble onto the next thing and it's like, okay, do I go again? Do I go again? Do I go again? You keep going until you wipe the whole thing out. It's a little bit like that. It's kind of double up, double up, double up, double up, lose it all. When do you stop? You don't know when this is going to come. And so it's very, very hard to trade it with confidence, because is that drawdown just one of those? Or is it kind of pop back up? You know, when do you pull the plug on it? And maybe you pull the plug on something here because you think it's that, and actual fact it's that. In reality, guys, trading with a Forex robot is identical to trading the market, because whatever you're doing, you're trading the market. Now, you may be trading one contract, £1 a point, £10 a point, and that might be a currency pair. That's no different to trading a bunch of trades on a market. You're trading exactly the same thing. You're trading the equity curve of that robot, and you know it's going to pull back at some point. And the point is, you know, the market's going to pull back at some point. So you've still got to make the decision. Do you stay in with the robot? Do you stay in with the market? Still exactly the same decision for you. When you get to here, it starts pulling back. Market starts pulling back. You're in it long. What are you doing? You're stopping yourself out because you think it's the end and it's going to just fall through the floor. Same with this. Are you stopping yourself out here, or is it just a pullback that's a bit deeper than this? You don't know. So the point is, guys, is that they can work, right? They can work. They can give you an uptrend in price for a long period of time, or in your account equity curve for a long period of time. But for longevity, they're always going to end up running down or stagnating, or something is going to control. There's no robot that will consistently, for years on end, just supply you money every single day that I know of. Maybe there's someone out there, but I doubt it, because if you look at some of the returns from some of the hedge funds, apart from HFT, which is different, even the guys who are, you know, got billions to spend, the brightest minds come up with stuff that draws down from time to time. And the decision you have to make as a retail guy is, okay, it's drawing down, do I want to stick in with it? Is the system screwed? Is the market different? Is it this? Is it that? So my recommendation is this, guys, is to say, okay, if you find a robot that you think works, it's got a good uptrend, then why not use it as a bit of a tool to help your discretionary trading? Okay, so instead of just plugging it in and leaving the EA and going off and sipping daiquiris on a beach or whatever you choose to do with your spare time, then why not use the robot see when it's taking the trade, put it in a demo, and say, right, well, this has got a positive expectancy edge so far. How can I improve that? How can I adapt it? How can I use the rules of this? I know a lot of them are hidden, it's just spitting out signals, but how can I leverage on when it spits out signals? How can I deconstruct and not necessarily mirror it, but think, okay, well, this is a trend following robot, it seems to go at this time, it's had a good run. How can I use that to my advantage? Should I go in then? Should I kind of have a trailing stop? Should I adjust it, adapt it? Now, some people are going to say, well, no, you don't mess with the system, and I get it. If you want the same results as the prescribed chart or the displayed chart, you don't mess with the system. But if you want some longevity, and you've got a few robots that are doing bits and pieces, at the end of the day, all they do is calling signals. Robots are a fancy name for it, doing it for you. Calling a signal, and you follow it, but you use it as a tool to assist you, then you're in a much better position to come out when eventually this happens. Because you don't want to be getting in here because this could happen, and you get a much better feel, and also it helps you with your longevity in your trading as well, because you're going to know when conditions change. And you start to see, you'll say, well, the currency pair is not trading the same anymore, or the performance of the robot's not the same. Aha, okay, so how can I identify perhaps when that conditions are changing? Well, what about if I use an ADX? What about if I use this or I use that? Okay, well, I can improve perhaps the robot's performance, and I could choose to implement it. I might be able to multiply that by 3 or 4 because you've got an extra filter on it. It says, well, actually, the performance of that is very poor under these times. Why? Because it's obvious, because it's all choppy and it doesn't trade well in chop. Well, let's eliminate chop and let's do it. So you can see how you can use it to your advantage, excuse me, as opposed to just, letting it do the stuff for you. And listen, you probably thought I'd come in here and be anti-robots. And I'm not going to go out there and put my money in with a Forex robot and buy one and stick it on and let it chug away. It's not for me to do. It's not my thing. But I'm not going to dismiss them, because I know there's many signal providers out there, services out there, that are doing a really, really good job. And they're genuine, and they're proper, and they're doing their due diligence, and they've got proper premises, they've got doing everything properly. And there's nothing to say you can't use those guys, but maybe to improve your trading is you use it in conjunction with your own discretionary stuff. You start to see when it does well, when it doesn't do so well. See what it's doing, and you've got a ready-made strategy, if you like, that's there and is got a positive expectancy over this time period that you can leverage on. And that's the point, guys. I think that the question of, do Forex robots work? For a certain time they do. Eventually they'll draw down. Same with traders. Most of the time, good discretionary trader will recognize that and adjust and adapt and move on to a different strategy. So leverage on the power of it. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, and don't pile in your full net worth into a robot, guys, because whilst there are many good guys out there who are doing good stuff with it and providing good signals and good service and are taking it professional and doing it professionally, there are some guys out there who just don't care, and they won't care it draws down there. They're just there to take your fees. So, it's like everything, isn't it? You've got to watch out what you're doing. All right, guys, see you next one. Take care. Bye-bye.